Yo guys, what's going on? LifeOfRio here, and I'm bringing you guys my Oberon Endgame build and my personal setups on how I like to use him with different elemental combos and how I feel like he really stands out ahead of the cast. Now, Oberon is really strong. I want to point this out by putting this out there. I am so fake because I was not Team Oberon ever. I'm still not Team Oberon now, but I really respect him with the position to where he's at in Warframe. So if the Oberon mains are in the comment section, definitely let me know how you're loving him. So I don't want this video to be too long, so we're going to jump into it, but I want you guys to pay attention to what I'm telling you because it's actually pretty important. So this is my personal build of which I use for my end game runs. I'll be showing you guys a video at the end with him versus like level 200 plus enemies. So let's go ahead and get the build concept and ideas out the way. Now with this build, there's some contradictive parts in my build and I want to point this out to you guys. So go ahead and pay attention to what I'm saying now. The first thing is my power strength. My power strength is 165, but it's really not 165 because growing power adds an extra 25%, and I'll show you guys how to use that actually. And then your power strength needs to be at least 170 to completely strip the enemy's armor with 2 casts from his fourth ability. Now, growing power is actually a really strong mod, and it's a really strong aura mod, and it helps out the entire team as a team synergy. Now, Phoenix Renewal is something that I really love, and it helps out a ton. So let's go ahead and jump in. Oh, let me show you guys this. The second part, which was a contradictive part in my build, which was Rage. Rage is very contradictive because Rage is a low level to mid level mod. When you're going up to doing endurance runs or really strong end game runs, Rage tend to really fall off because the enemies hit so hard that they kill you and you really don't get the energy back. But it kind of offsets because of Phoenix Renewal, so you really kind of help there. And Phoenix Renewal gives you 4 seconds of invincibility, kind of like a baby Nidus. When Nidus dies and he gets that invincibility period, that's what Phoenix Renewal gives you. It gives you that time for you to get out of a bad situation, pick up a friend, activate a life support. It doesn't matter. It's a very amazing augment. It's growing to be one of my favorites right now. So let me show you guys how this works with growing power, right? We're going to get some energy. We're going to put this on real quick and we're going to jump in here. Now, usually when you put down your second ability, it takes 2 casts from your fourth ability to completely strip the enemy's armor, right? But that seems to not be the case because what'll happen is I have to use it 3 times because I have 165 power strength, and I'm going to show you guys how to activate growing power for those who've never used it. And this is actually how you activate growing power. Let's go ahead and get some energy back and let's jump over here. All right, so cool. These guys are already radiated. What I want to do is hit them one time and you can see growing power is activated, and you slam them twice and it completely takes away all of their armor. And it's so freaking amazing, and it's just fantastic for the entire group. And I feel like it's just one of those aura mods that really sneak underneath the radar and a lot of people don't pay attention to it, but it is fantastic for Oberon, Banshee, a lot of frames that actually need a lot of power strength without losing much. So the way how you would use this build is to hit the enemies, and you can activate this. You can activate growing power with your melee, your primary weapon, just by hitting them and getting status procs. You can activate it with your melee weapon, and you can activate it with your secondary weapon, which is just freaking amazing. So I have a lot of status heavy weapons on me when I use Oberon because that's the best thing to use in conjunction. So I'm going to tell you guys, Oberon's best elemental combo for him is going to be Viral. As you guys can tell, I have Viral on my Czar build. My Czar is rocking Viral. As you guys can tell, I'll show you guys the build real quick. This is my my Riven that I have for it, but the main important thing, the Riven isn't too important. What's important is that you're rocking Viral. My Sonocore is also Viral as well. It's just Viral all over the place because you're going to be stripping with your fourth ability, and I'm going to tell you guys why. And also on my Galatine, it's going to be Viral as well, and I'll show you guys how it works with the Galatine. It's actually pretty freaking fantastic. So we're going to buff up real quick, jump out here. We're going to hit them one time with a status proc, go through, and then we're going to slam them twice. And then we're going to switch to our weapon, and it just completely shreds, like all the way through. It just completely shreds. There's no comparison. It's just ridiculous damage that you're going to be doing. You can use that with the Atarax, the Legion, the Sakura Electa, any weapon of your choice, but make sure to put Viral on it because it's so strong with Oberon. Now, the other thing about Oberon is that if you don't have growing power, what are you going to be switching it out for? You're going to be switching it out for, I would say, Steel Charge. Now, let's go into this. You guys know I don't like CP at all. Corrosive projection is not a thing that I use, but with other testing, if you use corrosive projection it actually helps it to where you don't need as much power strength, because that minus 30% armor actually adds to it. And you can use corrosive projection with Oberon because it actually helps with the armor strip with his fourth ability, which I think is amazing. Now, I would probably use corrosive projection in a solo aspect, but just not a team aspect. I think that would be great to how you can stack that with his fourth ability. So if you guys want to change his aura mod, you definitely can. You can put a dash and use CP. So if you don't want to use a dash, you don't want to form a forward, you want to save a former, you can actually use Steel Charge, and you could take out Phoenix Renewal, or you can take out Rage, whichever one. These are subjected to change just to fit your own personal build. You can take out Rage or Phoenix Renewal, and you can put in Intensify. And when you have Intensify, you will automatically strip armor in 2 casts because you're past the 170 mark. So if you're not past the 170 mark with the 165 that I have, actually it can be 170 for me. It is just my OCD to why I don't max out my Transient Fortitude. But basically all you need is a max Transient Fortitude. And if you have a max Transient Fortitude and you have Growing Power, whatever you have in there, just a max Transient Fortitude and an Intensify, you're completely there as well. So a max Transient Fortitude and a Power Drift, I would say, and you're completely there as well. Because if you have 165 with a rank 9, or a rank 10 will take you to rank to 170, and you will actually be at the threshold to where you can save a mod spot as well, and you wouldn't need Growing Power. I just want to point out all the ways to how you can build Oberon, just so you guys know. So for the people that don't know in the comment section, Transient Fortitude is this mod, and Power Drift is the Excellent Slot mod. And if you have it maxed out, I don't have mine maxed out because I don't max out any mods. The thing about it is that if you have it maxed out, it's just how I have my build set up on all my frames with my power duration and my specific number crunches. So that's the reason why. So you can set this up in many different ways. You can actually switch out his builds. Also, for if you want to put in more duration, you can actually put that in there. If you don't feel like using Phoenix Renewal, you can switch that out in many different ways. So Oberon overall is a fantastic frame, and he is really, really great with what he does now. He is actually a strong damage dealer. I love how he's a strong damage dealer. And guys, remember, like I've said, with Growing Power activates by shooting your primary weapon and getting a status proc. Also with your secondary weapon, your melee weapon, all of those activated and get a status proc, and Growing Power will stay active. And then also with your Sentinel as well will activate Growing Power for you, so it will consistently be on. And I love Growing Power in the team aspect because you guys are buffing each other and it's staying up. As long as your teammates are hitting somebody or you're hitting somebody, your Sentinel, Growing Power will always stay up. And so it's just really fantastic of a build. And I would say Oberon with Viral is his strongest thing. Now, the really cool thing about this one is all the buff and damage that he gets. So what happens with this is this right here. So you would do that, get a buff to go through, right? And what happens is not just that, you just don't strip the armor, because the armor stays stripped forever. You completely keep the armor off. Unlike Ash's Seek and Shuriken, which is time duration based, this actually stays off forever. But the cool thing to why his damage is so great is because once you strip the armor, they're radiated and they're killing each other, right? And once they're killing each other or doing damage, I wouldn't say kill each other. They're just doing damage to each other, because at high level, they're not going to really be killing each other. You can now use your 1 in the mix, and your 1 is actually going to be doing a lot more damage because these guys don't have any armor to where they're taking reduced damage. So it's really fantastic. I'm trying to see why the heck, oh, his armor didn't fully come off, that's what it was. But overall, guys, it's fantastic. I think Oberon is a really strong frame right now. He's in a really strong spot, and I think if you don't have him or you didn't think he was going to be good, you should definitely pick him up. He's given a lot of frames a run for their 10-0 spot, as in like top tier, and you should pick him up. This armor stripping alone is what's really buffing him. The third ability, the only drawbacks I would say is that the third ability takes a lot of energy, so that's why I use Rage. And Rage in the long run actually turned out to be pretty great, and I loved the rollout of what actually happened while doing an endgame run with Oberon. So my personal opinion on Oberon is that you should definitely pick him up. Personal weapon choices to use with him, I would say AoE weapons, because you're not going to really be standing still at all times with Oberon, and I say this a lot in Warframe. AoE weapons are just some of the best weapons to have, especially in this type of instances. Since you're going to be stripping groups of enemies' armor, you're going to really need something like, let's say, the Tsar, I would say the Torrid. As you guys know, my endgame build setups for the best weapons for endgame, I would definitely use those as choices for Oberon. Now, I said I don't want this to be too long, so let me hurry up and get through this, and I'll show you guys the video at the end. Like I said, rage and everything else in this build is fantastic. If you want to save up an extra spot, and you don't want to use Phoenix Renewal and you don't have growing power, you can max out Transient Fortitude and get that whole thing going. I really do hope that you guys enjoyed the build, enjoyed the tips that I gave you, because it is so fun. The Sonic Core with him, let me show you guys the Sonic Core. Really got to show you guys the Sonic Core. It's fantastic. It is freaking fantastic. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into this. I didn't want to show you guys the melee testing with freaking Zenny-Star, because I use the Zenny-Star so much. But as you guys can tell, this weapon is, the Sonic Core is my #1 go-to endgame weapon, especially for Ash. And it works so amazingly well with Oberon, and I love it. I love everything about it. So if you guys have this, the Sonic Core and all of that, you can check out my builds. Use Viral on all of the builds with Oberon, because he's basically doing viral radiation. And viral radiation is just a destructive setup. You can use that so well. I think he fits into the whole endgame run for me extremely well. And I'm gonna show you guys this one as well. Let me go ahead and knock this out, and then I'll show you guys the video. And I really do hope that you guys enjoyed. If you did, if you guys like this breakdown, be sure to give the video a thumbs up, and I will definitely check you guys later in the comment section. So we got that going. Now we stripped the armor, and as you guys can tell, it's just ridiculous damage. It's just ridiculous damage. I love it. But guys, I'll show you guys the build. You guys take care. Have an amazing day. And thank you guys so much for the support. And I'll check you guys later on the next Warframe video. I think the next one that I'm coming with. Okay, guys. So this is basically what I was doing versus the level 300 enemies that we're playing against. So I gotta get that video. Overall, the run was amazing. So what I'm doing is I'm keeping down my two, but nullifiers can take my 2 away, but it really doesn't really affect anything. As long as I keep my 2 down. The cool thing about Oberon is that his proc, his generic elemental combo of what he is as a frame is radiation. And so radiation versus Corpus is amazing. And then the other cool thing is that once radiation is down, they actually focus each other, which gives Oberon a lot of CC breathing room. And then the thing is that as soon as I throw down my 2, if the enemies are on my 2 for 1.2 seconds, which is going to be 2 ticks of my 2 activating on the enemy is going to create an instant radiation proc. And then if I use my first ability, my first actually creates an instant radiation proc, and my 4th ability actually also creates an instant radiation proc as well. So as you guys can tell, I've gotten hit like multiple times and actually survived at really high level, to where Corpus usually just one-shots you, because Corpus, this is the tile set of Lua, and Lua actually scales the same as MOT, so it's amazing, and it was just super fun. But keeping up my 3rd ability, throwing down my 2 when Sentients come out, and as you guys can see, I died right there. Whenever Sentients come out, I throw down my 2, slam them on it, because as you guys can see, growing power is staying active and it just keeps reprocking itself, which is a great team combo, because the Equinox was in here as well, and Excalibur, so we didn't really have a real defensive frame. So the real cool thing is that it just keeps reprocking. We get the damage multipliers to go up and the damage buff, and actually just debuff the Sentients, kill them, and keep moving along. So really do hope that you guys enjoy it. What you're going to be doing is keeping down your 2. You're always going to place your 2 down. Once you place your 2 down, use your 3 to get that armor buff, and then just keep your heals on. And the thing about this one is that when the Sentients hit me, Oberon can actually survive it, and the Sentients give me so much energy back that I'm back to max energy. So it's amazing. I love the combo. I love everything about it. And I had my Zenny-Star out there, which was actually comboing very, very well with the viral and just killing Corpus all the way over. So radiation, great CC overall. Oberon is a fantastic frame, and I think that you guys can pick him up. He's fantastic overall, man. He's a strong frame, and he deserved the buff. But if you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to hit the thumbs up button, and guys, join the Discord. Link is in the description if you guys want my personal builds and stuff like that to help you guys out. And you guys can join me over on Twitch to watch the entire run. We have a lot of fun on Twitch. Thank you guys, and I will see you guys later.